Welcome back, folks. Want to see your blood sugar go down? Well, this is the video that you're going to want to watch. I don't introduce myself too often, but my name is Mr. A1C for those of you that are new to the channel. And what I do on this channel is I talk about my journey with type 2 diabetes and how I was able to reverse my type 2 diabetes without taking medication. So we'll talk about medication. There's a place for medication, but I was able to do it without medication. So also, big shout out to Matt DV of Matt DV Adventures. He's a YouTuber and he loves to eat. He's a foodie like me. I love to eat, so I watch his channel all the time. So if you guys are, foodies and you love to eat, check him out. Matt, it's at Matt MATT DV, all one word. Go check this guy out. I mean, I love his channel, and he's actually from back home where I'm from, and he's also a brother because he's a military veteran just like myself. So shout out to you, Matt. Take care, buddy. Okay, so this item is linked to reduce blood glucose levels in type 2 diabetes. Now remember, this channel is not a medical channel. Always seek the advice of your medical provider for anything that we talk about on this channel if you decide to go forward with the methods I've used to reduce my blood sugar and my A1C. So research suggests that supplementation is associated with improved blood glucose levels in people with type 2 diabetes. So an Australian research published in the Diabetes, Obesity and Metabolism journal indicates that people with type 2 diabetes who took this supplement on a twice daily basis observed a 36% reduction in their post-meal blood glucose levels. So your postprandial blood glucose levels were reduced by 36%. That's huge, guys. That is huge. But like everything else, you're going to see mixed results in a lot of these scientific and medical studies. And we'll go back, towards the end, we'll talk about how I do it and what has worked for me. So the Deakin University research revealed people who took this supplement spent almost 3 hours less a day with high blood glucose levels or high blood sugar levels. So that's great. I mean, that means it reduced your high blood sugar levels a day by 3 hours. That's great. Have you guys guessed what we're talking about here? We're talking about vitamin C, guys. We're talking about this stuff right here. Let me put my finger over it because I don't want to advertise any of the brands. So a total of 31 participants took part in the study, comprising of 26 men and 5 women, all of whom had type 2 diabetes. And they were split into 2 groups. One group was not given vitamin C, while the second group was given 500 milligram doses daily, equivalent to approximately 10 times the intake considered to be normal. Both groups ate standardized meals and were monitored with continuous glucose monitors over a 4-month period. So this doctor said, we found that participants had a significant 36% drop in blood sugar spikes after meals, which we mentioned earlier is huge. This also meant that they spent almost 3 hours less per day living in a state of hyperglycemia. This is extremely positive news, as hyperglycemia is a risk factor for cardiovascular disease in people with type 2 or living with type 2 diabetes, said the associate professor Glenn Wadley, who led the study. The participants who took vitamin C also had lower blood pressure, the results revealed. So again, a lot of these things that we're talking about on this channel are multi-purpose or multi-beneficial, and it seems like a lot of things that we're talking about deal with not just treating your type 2 diabetes and your blood sugar, but treating metabolic syndrome as a whole, which is your high blood sugar, your high blood pressure, and your high cholesterol. So keep that in mind, guys. I mean, there's no silver bullet here. It's all of the things that we talk about here combined that has given me the ability to be where I'm at today, where I'm no longer diagnosed as a diabetic. And you can too. So Professor Wadley stated the antioxidant properties of vitamin C have the ability to counteract the elevated levels of free radicals found in individuals with diabetes. Antioxidants, guys, you see we're going right back to this antioxidant topic, right? And it's promising to observe that this can alleviate several of the disease's common related conditions, such as high blood pressure. Again, high blood pressure. So for those managing type 2 diabetes, vitamin C may serve as a cost-effective, accessible, and beneficial supplement or supplementary treatment to be used alongside their regular anti-diabetic regimen. So the regimen they're talking about is, you know, you're eating the right foods, you're taking the right ingredients, the right spices, and all the stuff that we're talking about. That's the regimen they're talking about. Not hitting the Snickers bars and the potato chips and, you know, the crisps, as they call it in Europe, and things like that. It's actually trying to stay on the straight and narrow path to success. So study participants with hypertension also had their blood pressure levels drop while taking vitamin C tablets. So that's a good thing. So people with high blood pressure noticed that there was a change as well, a positive change. And many of us type 2 diabetics have to deal with the possibility of high blood pressure as well because of metabolic syndrome. The research implies that vitamin C has substantial health advantages. However, as the researchers note, the key takeaway is that vitamin C can serve as an effective additional treatment method similar to maintaining a diet that is healthy, so a healthy diet. So it's saying it's not a silver bullet. It's not going to solve all your problems. One item does not solve your problem, right? It's saying it's part of a larger regimen or a larger group of things that you have to do on a consistent basis in terms of a lifestyle change to make this successful. For many people, eating a real food diet can help people lose weight. And we talked about losing weight because losing weight is going to contribute to lowering your blood sugar and your A1C over the long term. Reduce their blood glucose levels, and even put type 2 diabetes into remission, which is where we all want to be. So should I take vitamin C supplements to help my type 2 diabetes? Although results of the above study are interesting, a closer look shows several weaknesses in the findings. The study investigated only a very small number of people with type 2 diabetes, and most were male. So it was anecdotal, like most of the studies we talked about in treatment of type 2 diabetes. All anecdotal. We don't see these giant studies being done because I guess there's no reason, or nor it doesn't benefit the people doing the studies, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you can read into that whatever you think I'm saying, but I don't want to tell you exactly what that means. So the effects of vitamin C supplementation alone cannot be determined because people were already being treated with different diabetes medicines, heart medicines, or lifestyle treatments. So that makes sense. I mean, that does make sense, right? Because so many variables involved. How do you know whether or not giving that vitamin C actually did the job, or was it something that they're already taken? Was it part of the metformin that they're taking, or the Ozempic that they're taking, or something else? Or are they just on a very natural diet that's working for them, and you know, the blood sugar happened to be low at the time that you checked it, and yeah, because you gave them vitamin C, it may or may not have worked, right? We don't know. There are too many things, too many chefs in the pot to figure out what's going on. And that was part of the problem I had in terms of trying to figure out what worked for me. I was taking too many things at one time. So I had to start really like looking over the long term, what is working for me and what is not working for me, and make adjustments based on that. And then add things such as vitamin C or the psyllium fiber I told you guys about in the previous videos, or cardamom or turmeric or whatever it may be, and do the same thing. Do it 3-4 times just to make sure that it works or it actually doesn't work, because I was just doing too many things at one time, so you never knew what worked, you know. So something to think about. But interestingly, the researchers found that the glycated hemoglobin, the HbA1c levels, did not improve with vitamin C supplementation. So this is their finding, that it did not improve. But my anecdotal finding as well shows that this, combined with everything else that I'm doing, did improve my A1C, because if it didn't, I would still be diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic. So the HbA1c level is important because the result of 48 or micromoles or 6.5% or more can suggest a diagnosis of diabetes, and it can help track long-term blood sugar control. So I was up there, guys. So this 6.5% they were talking about, I was up there. I think the last time I checked, maybe about 3 months ago or 4 months ago, whenever the doctor checked, I think I was at 5.3, and I'm kind of hovering somewhere around 5.3, and I'm hoping to stay that way. So just because I am no longer diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic doesn't mean I stop playing the game. I have to continue to do what I'm doing, work out 3 times a week like I've been doing. That's why you guys see me have sweats on. Usually I make my videos for you guys after I work out, and also maintain the diet I'm maintaining. So don't get me wrong, I cheat on my diet. I mean, I have stuff. I have pizza. I have a lot of things. But I'm going to tell you, we'll talk about pizza if you're a pizza lover, how I have pizza. Because I'm a foodie, just like Matt DV, our new subscriber. And, you know, I look at the stuff Matt's eating and my mouth just waters. So we'll talk about that in another video, what I like to eat and how I eat it. And, you know, I told you the key was the fiber. The fiber was part of the solution to allow me to eat the things that I still like to eat. I still eat desserts. We don't say no to desserts on this channel. So the author suggested that this result may have been because the 1 month washout period was too short, meaning that vitamin C may still have an effect in participants switched to the placebo and vice versa. So it's thought that damage to the body cells and tissues caused by substances known as free radicals may lead to the development of type 2 diabetes. Vitamin C is an antioxidant, which is thought to have a protective role in diabetes by reducing the damage caused by free radicals, which I think we know. Anything high in antioxidants is a plus for us type 2 diabetics. So there are other ways you can reduce damage from free radicals, guys. For example, not smoking and limiting your alcohol intake. And if you do these things, I would recommend or encourage you to try to do it in moderation, if anything, because it's hard to just stop something cold turkey. More research studying a larger number of people is needed to determine whether people with type 2 diabetes can benefit from vitamin C supplements. Initially, type 2 diabetes can often be managed with lifestyle changes such as healthy eating and regular exercise, as we discussed earlier. Most people with type 2 diabetes will also need oral prescription medications, and many will eventually require insulin. So the key is most, and I don't even know if it's most. It's like, I think it's most people that stick with the processed food diet will also need oral prescription medications and will eventually require insulin. So that's the way I would like to paraphrase that, because I think if you go back to what's natural, the way nature intended, the way Mother Nature packaged everything, and instead of buying something in the box that's processed, I think you're going to have more success. And I shouldn't say I think, I know you're going to have more success, because that's what has worked for me. Now, I do eat some processed food because it's just so hard to get rid of, but I do eat more of the healthier foods. You know, even some of the meats I eat, I make sure it's organic. Everything I eat, I try to make sure it's organic. No pesticides, no antibiotics, you know, a lot of things that they're putting in the food today. Try to stay away from that, because all of that is affecting all of the issues that we're having with metabolic syndrome. Type 2 diabetes needs to be managed effectively to prevent complications. If you're thinking about starting a vitamin C supplement or any new medicine, including complementary medicines, we recommend that you talk to your GP, your general practitioner, or your diabetes educator. Excuse me. So what do I do? Vitamin C, I take 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C or 2 grams of vitamin C a day, guys. I'll be honest with you. The first one I take in the morning on an empty stomach with the rest of the regimen that I put together, including the drink. And if you're not familiar with that drink that I put together, refer back to that video. And you'll see that I pull vitamin C out at the time. I just didn't discuss vitamin C during that video because that video was really about the drink. So I made a separate one here for vitamin C. And I do it twice a day. So on an empty stomach with all the other good stuff that I have, the garlic and all the other good stuff in the drink. And also I have it before bed, 1,000 milligrams before bed. So one thing I'll say to you is vitamin C will throw off your reading. So your blood sugar monitor may have issues with vitamin C if you're taking over 500 milligrams or even over 1,000 milligrams. I take 1,000 milligrams and I'm aware of it, so I'm not concerned about it. But it doesn't mess your blood sugar up based on my observation. But what it does is it throws off the reading on your diabetes, your blood glucose meter. And it's not going to throw off the reading at the hospital. Once they take your A1C at the hospital, it doesn't throw that reading off. But the blood glucose monitors that we use, it throws that off for some reason. So keep that in mind. If you're going to take more than 500 milligrams of vitamin C at a time, be aware that your blood sugar reading with your little device is probably going to be off a little bit. But at the hospital, it would be perfectly fine. Okay, that's all I have to say about vitamin C, guys. I hope this was very informative for you guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. I want to hear more from you guys. And Matt, thanks for your response, man. I'm glad you're on the channel as a subscriber. Take care, guys.